Hello, I'd like to talk to you about Aristotle and the majority versus minority quandary, especially related to COVID-19. Aristotle was known as the master of those who know in the Middle Ages. He was born in the northwest of Greece in 384 BC. He studied at Plato's Academy and produced works on physics, metaphysics, ethics, politics, and rhetoric. He was likely a tutor to Alexander the Great. He died from illness in October 322 BCE. Now let's talk about the majority versus minority rights quandary, especially in terms of golden mean and justice. According to Aristotle, the golden mean is between a deficiency and an excess. An example would be generosity. A deficiency would be being stingy to the point where you're not being generous at all. And an excess would be generous to the point that you're impoverishing yourself and giving away too much of your money. And then the golden mean would be giving as much as you can for your situation. Now, in the case of COVID-19 and majority-minority, a deficiency could be not doing enough to slow the spread of the virus and protect the vulnerable members of the population, which could be considered a minority in this case. In other words, it'd be business as usual. An excess would be completely shutting down to the point where you're potentially infringing on people's rights and freedoms, specifically the rights of those seemingly at less of a risk, which could be considered a majority. Now, is there a golden mean between those? Aristotle also talks of justice. He says, the ratio between the shares will be the same as that between the persons. If the persons are not equal, their just shares will not be equal. We can look at this in terms of resource allocation with vaccines, medicine, ventilators. Who is worthy and who decides? Aristotle seems to think that if you're worthy, you deserve more. So how do we make those decisions? I have some discussion questions for you. First, if you were to make a golden mean chart for this pandemic, what would you have as the deficiency and the excess? Is there a golden mean that you can find between them? Who gets to decide where resources go right now? Are they qualified to make those decisions? What makes them qualified to decide what is just? Do you agree with Aristotle's view of justice? Thank you for watching, and be sure to comment and have a discussion in the comments down below.